So you were teaching last weekend though,
Mhm.
part of the workshop. What was that all about?
Yeah, we got to teach some community members about the basics of shiitake log inoculation, how to use hardwoods that we had in abundance on the land to grow delicious shiitake mushrooms, talking about the basic biology and the process, and then jumping in as a group into actually working with the logs and getting them inoculated.
And there were multiple stations. Like what was the flow like?
Yeah,
Were those the
yes,
logs before they got drilled?
exactly. Yes, we have these different size logs, about the same length, but different, diameters. But each one, we've got a label on the side using some old blinds, which will put just a label on what type of species it is. Bring it over to station number 1, where it's drilled with an angle grinder with a special attachment that zips right into it and gives you this nice zigzag pattern of holes that go about an inch or so down in and across the logs themselves.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, we have this applicator where we are able to get the sawdust spawn. So we have these shiitake log mushroom spawn, or the mycelium, the kind of mushroom roots growing in sawdust that you fill in this little metal tube, and with a little whack on the end here, it fills up the hole with that sawdust spawn. So it's basically like putting like a little seed of mushroom into each log. And then after that, we roll them down these stations, and at the last station, we cover each of the holes with a little bit of wax. If I can grab right here.
Because you're doing all this. This is a weekend after the workshop, and there's tons more logs to.
Yeah, we got a lot done. All of these were done last
Yeah.
weekend with a community of about 15 or so folks who came out, which was awesome. Really great group, very motivated, and really jumped right in. And we just have more that we'd like to get done since we have the abundance of material. So getting these finally coated with a little bit of a wax covering to help minimize drying out and intrusion from other mushroom or fungus species we don't want, helps ensure that the shiitakes have the best chance to take over. So from here, they get stacked and can produce mushroom
Wow.
coat for the next couple years.
Extraordinary. And so you're a teacher, educator, professor in your main day to day. What was it like teaching this though? Was this something that you had done before, like shared as a skill with other folks, or what was that experience like teaching something that might not have been totally in your wheelhouse?
Yeah, no, it is fun because I don't get to do this as much. Definitely, I like the sort of experiential, like hands-on kind of learning a lot, but it was fun, especially to work with folks from different age ranges. We probably had folks 18 to 70, which was a lot of fun to work with people of different skill sets, backgrounds, physical abilities, and finding a job for everyone to feel really good about what they're doing and contribute. And then just the conversation around why they're there, what they're doing, what they hope to do with the logs, why they like mushrooms, and what gets them excited was a lot of fun.
Sweet. And last question, I've heard rumblings of maybe persimmon grafting happening later in
Right, yes,
April,
that's
or
right.
can you give the people a preview of that? And that might be a mini
Sure.
turtles workshop to look forward to.
Yeah, hopefully in early May, still setting the exact day, Saturday or Sunday, morning or afternoon, we'll work on grafting persimmons. So using the native American persimmon that is abundant all around us as sort of the rootstock, or sort of the base of a tree, and learning how to basically add on or graft on another species of persimmon that might be desirable or just interesting or different, and learning some of the biology and the mechanics of how to do that. But that workshop, folks will practice those things, practice grafting, using knives and razors to cut these special cuts on the trees, sort of binding them together and hopefully seeing how they turn into sort of this beautiful Frankenstein that is, two different things together that can ultimately support, more productive orchards and fruit production.